Hi Gemini, and welcome to your reading. Can't see. What does Gemini need to know? What does Gemini need to know? You are supposed to be in this deck. What does Gemini need to know? Alright, one moment, Gemini, because you already know I don't see the cards before they are placed. Not this one. This is... What is this? Main or side? Side. Okay. This is... Wait, what? Oh, a month. Okay. This is what? Not it. This is present moment energy. Your side message relates to it, but okay. Okay, what else? What else for Gemini with what they need to know? Okay. It's 2 cards. Thankfully didn't see them. Is this something you need to know? Side note. Not it. Anything else for side message? Okay, so yeah, this down here is your side messages, but we're not going to get into that until after the main spread. That being said, let's see what we have. The 5 of water, abundance, 7 of water, masculine, feminine, king of water, 10 of fire, 7 of earth, and 6 of earth. Comes off as a lot of emotion, but achievement as well. Let's see. Yeah. You may be, yeah. You're moving out of this energy. Okay. Because the current energy that you're moving in is the 5 of waters, but it's like a transition period where you spend some time down and depressed, feeling sorry for yourself, but you're transitioning away from that. Yeah, I'm hearing it's a time of responsibility for you, holding yourself accountable for things you've done, things you've said. Instead of putting yourself down or looking at the problems of the situation, you're looking at possible answers and solutions. But that's for some of you, not all of you. There's some of you where the Five of Water is not necessarily you, but how you're responding to it. Whereas it's somebody around you that's the mopey, sad, and depressed type, and the way you're responding is the way you are overall. Someone who's cheerful, uplifting, I'm hearing guiding, nurturing. Yeah, for some of you, it's more of how you respond, how you look to respond to what's perceived to be a negative situation, and that's more of the energy you're moving in. Where you don't think it's the negative, you think it's the positive. It's not simply looking at the brighter side of things, it's that you're someone who refuses to let a bad situation get to them, and a bad situation is only in the state of mind. It's only how you feel about it. If you feel defeated by a situation, then you are defeated. But if you feel like it's a challenge, something where you can rise to the occasion, that's the energy that you're moving in. If you feel rejected or dismissed, it's for a very good reason. That's not an opportunity that's for you yet. And it's the way you're responding to situations now, instead of being woe is me, self-pitying. You're actually looking at it from more positive, more uplifting aspect of how it can be an opportunity, instead of viewing it as something that deters you or you lose your confidence. It's like you dig in deeper. I just haven't tried hard enough. It's not the right time yet. Every possible answer has 10 potential solutions. Yeah, you look for. As far as the energy of your natural environment, you have abundance. You could be quite prosperous, but in more than one area of your life. Whether it be with work, your finances, food, your health. Maybe even friends, social relationships, and connections, which whatever it is, it's like you feel abundant in it. You have more than enough to share, more than enough to go around. And the more you give away, the more you have to offer, the more that comes back to you. Unless you necessarily have to, because this is the energy of your natural environment, unless you necessarily have to say no to something, you're always going to say yes to giving, whether it's being financially, food, time, energy, unless there's a valid reason for why you have to say no. It comes off as you're going to say yes because you know you have more than enough to give away and still sustain yourself and still take care of what it is you need to do, because you have the time, you have the money, you have the resources. Why not share it with those that may not have as much as you do? Yeah, what plays to your strength is that you just do you. You're in your element. You are free flowing. You are open. You are free flowing, open minded thinker. It comes across like a go with the wind, spur of the moment type situation. How it plays out is how it plays out. You're not looking to be criticized or judged for the things that you do. Like, if someone doesn't understand why you're doing something or why it is you're behaving the way you behave here, or if it's perceived as weird or not the norm, you don't care. It's how you move, it's how you speak, it's how you eat, it's how you walk, it's how you talk, it's how you dress, it's how you express yourself. It's like, how dare you try and come and correct me when this is how I naturally am? And why are you forcing me to be like you? Yeah, and that plays to your strength, because at the end of the day, you remain yourself. If it's constructive criticism, maybe you'll hear it out. If you know it's for your higher good. But if it's from a lack of understanding, you don't have the time of day for it. Now, the energy of your present moment, you have masculine and feminine. You may be going through a situation, whether it be with work, family, friends, or if the situation is something that's internal with your thoughts and your emotions. It calls for the need of coming into balance. In the words of spirit, how exactly do you want me to phrase it? Some of you may be too free flowing. It's like you go with the energy, yes, you go with the flow of things, but there comes a point in time where not restrict or limit yourself, but just be mindful and aware of your surroundings. You don't necessarily need to change who you are, but you need to bring other aspects, the other half to your whole, into clearer view. Okay, so now I see what Spirit is trying to say. Basically, you may find yourself in a situation where you have to show a little bit more discipline, self-control, critical thinking, organization, planning. Because right now, the way you're coming off is that you just go with the flow of things. There is no planning. There is no thinking. If it feels right, just do it. But you may need to balance that out a little bit more. With planning, organization, just overall being able to explain what it is you do. Like, not to necessarily explain it, but to show that you have the capability to do so. Because again, the way it's coming up is you may be there's going to come a point in time in your present moment, if it hasn't happened already, where you need to show that you're capable of being more thoughtful, more organized, that you can be a planner, that you're capable of these things. You can still be you, but just show that you have these capabilities, and that you're not lacking in them. Because right now, so far from what I've picked up, it doesn't come off where you think or plan or consider anything. Except for the fact of you phrasing everything in more positive, optimistic light. Now, based on the energy that came out for you so far, there are one of three paths or courses of action you can take. Again, based on the current energy that came out for you. The first being the King of Water. You're using your emotional intelligence to explain what it is you do and how you do it, and why it is you do the things you do. Because I'm hearing you're a logical thinker, but because your emotions are at play, you're balancing the two out to be able to explain your thoughts and actions more rationally for the people around you to understand. Trying to think, because this reminds me of a reading that I did 2 weeks ago that I believe it was for you, Gemini, where you was very highly analytical, logical, left emotions out of the situation. And even found it troublesome when you was around somebody that was overly emotional and just gave in to what it is they do or what it is they say because you didn't want to deal with the emotions. And now here, if that was your reading, like, here you are not again, but instead of shying away from the emotions, in this, one of your potential past or course of action is where you're using your intellect to now explain. You're using your emotional intellect. You're using your emotional intelligence to explain your actions, balancing it out with logic. You're actually incorporating the emotion into what you say, and like it's coming through as sound, reasonable advice. It's more understandable, it's more relatable because you're balancing the two. If someone were to come to you and ask you a simple question, why'd you do that? How'd you do that? I don't see the logic in it. But again, if it's criticism, you don't want to hear it. You don't have the time of day for it. But for those that come to ask you a simple question, you have no problem bringing it down step by step. Again, because you're balancing your emotional intelligence with your logic, you can actually break it down piece by piece so they can relate to it as well. Like whoever it is you speak to, they now have an emotional attachment to what it is you're talking about or explaining to them. Because the way you're phrasing it, the way you're saying it, makes it seem like it's something they would want to try, something they would want to do. That they're amazed by it, they're astounded by it. Some people may be looking up to you as an example of how people should be. For the second path or course of action, you have the Ten of Fire. You are mastering yourself. Two sides of the same coin, the logic and the emotion. The emotional intelligence and the logic versus logic, reasoning, and wisdom. You're learning to master the two sides, the two different aspects, the two sides of yourself, bringing them together in a most productive way. You may have come to the realization that one way is good, the other way is great, but putting them together makes the ultimate combination. So now you can still be you. I'm hearing you can love yourself, explain yourself, get to work on things you want to do, applying different traits in areas nobody even dreamed of. So yeah, because you're balancing both your emotions with your logic, like whether it be with friends, family, or work, you're doing things that no one around you seems to consider, because they themselves may be either more emotion than logic or more logic than emotion. You are now a healthy balance of both of them with the Ten of Fire. And it's like you're creating pathways, you're creating new ways of thinking that's outside the box for them, because they're more one than the other. You are a perfect, healthy balance of both, and because you're mastering yourself, mastering your two sides and mastering yourself, just hearing that overall you're more productive in life. So you could be a better social support when it comes to your family and friends, better communicator, listener, productive worker if you work a 9-to-5 job. If it's the entrepreneurship, it's like you're more relatable to the people that you're marketing your products to, or even coming ideas with new products that you know are needed, and doing it in a way that no one's thought of, or marketing it in a way that no one's thought of. Lastly, for the last path or course of action you can take, you have the Seven of Earth. You're listening to spirit, or whoever you identify as your higher power, whether that be spirit, universe, God, Allah, or any other name. Yeah, you are rooted in the ground and listening very closely to what your higher power has to say. This could be through meditation, yoga, dance. And sometimes the messages may come out of nowhere when you're not even trying, when you're not even thinking or obsessing about what should come next, what you should think of, what you should pursue. The messages just come out of nowhere, and instantly you're guided to do something you may not have considered before. But again, because you're moving in the energy of not feeling defeated or down and depressed and self-pitying, but more of, if you hit a setback, it's just a new challenge to overcome. Every problem has a solution, and you're rising to the occasion. It's like whatever they're directing you to do, you're not intimidated or scared by it. You may in all actuality be inspired by it. Like a mountain you gotta climb, you can't wait to reach the top. Okay, sorry about that, Gemini. Now, regardless of what path or course of action you take, what you can expect over the upcoming weeks is the Six of Earth. You are giving back to your community in some way, shape, or form. You may be engaging in volunteer work because some way, somehow, you are donating your time. Hearing what's mine to give. What's mine to give is yours to share. So yeah, if you're not donating your time or doing volunteer work, you just may be donating resources that you have access to. Because all I hear is that Gemini, somehow you are serving your community, and all of you are going through a different situation. So your community could just overall be your close family members, your friend group. If you know someone or more than one of your friends need additional support and assistance. For others of you, it's work related by just coming up with systems and ideas that can improve the work environment, make things safer, improve productivity without increasing the workload. Maybe even reorganizing, creating new shifts, but some way, somehow, you are serving your community and coming up with ideas, donating time, donating energy, donating resources, and just overall giving back. But with this, being that it didn't come up, at least not clearly, with how people view you, with this card, it's like people take you a lot more seriously. They respect you, admire you, know that you're someone who's reliable, dependable, that will follow through with everything they say they're going to do. Now again, I can't say it's a change from how they viewed you before, because it didn't necessarily come up all that clearly with the previous cards, just that in the present moment you may be placed in a position where you have to show your other side, where you can be more thoughtful, organized, and plan things out. Because you have a lot more respect. And it's not that people just overall come to you, it's just in times of need, they know they have your support. Anyway, I would not be surprised if some of y'all are starting a not-for-profit organization. Because that's basically what this feels like. To have so many people that know they can rely on you, depend on you, count on you, that you have their back, and you have so much to give. Time, money, resources. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if some of you started a non-for-profit organization. And that's probably why you had to show they could be a little more serious. But anyway, let's clarify from Gemini, please. Let's clarify for Gemini, please. Anything else? Alright. Do not like to see them before they are placed. This, where fire, water, or earth. Water, right in front of you, okay. Wait, which one of earth? The 6 or the 7? The 7. This is side message. Wait. No. Yeah. Main or side? Okay, so with 5 of water, you have the 10 of swords. Like I said, for some of you, y'all are transitioning out of the 5 of water energy, while others of you, it's more of a response to how somebody is in because your natural energy is just be uplifting and focus on the positive instead of viewing things in a negative light. Look how it can serve you, not work against you. But this being clarified by the 10 of swords, you're someone who understands there's no point holding on to past baggage. You have someone that you're someone that's either learned or learning to release and forgive and release. If it's not for you, you are letting it go so you embrace a new path. There's a better way for being, and this isn't it. As far as abundance, for the energy in your environment is clarified by the Hierophant. You feel like you have more than... So, yeah, some of you... This may come off a little bit strange, but Gemini, some of you, if you're not the organizer of events, you could be a director of a program, director of a program, because the natural environment that you're in is where you feel like you have more than enough, but you're the one that's actually in charge. I see you standing at the front line where people are coming to you. It's like at the soup kitchen, people are coming in line, not the soup kitchen, sorry, a food pantry, where people are coming to you in line and you're handing out food. Food is being handed out to them, but you're the one who's overall supervising, making sure there's more than enough for people that are coming to the door. Letting them know what's in each bag, what they're about to get, removing anything they may be allergic to, and giving them something that can supplement that. But again, if you're not the organizer or director of events of donations, some way, shape, or form, you're the one who's creating this natural environment where people can just naturally come to you because you have more than enough. Like this sort of force field around you where people automatically tune in on the fact that you have a kind and giving spirit, that you create the environment of just overall abundance. If there's a need, you're able to fill it, you're able to provide. And again, I know it's coming off a little bit strange, but you're the one who's creating this kind of environment. It's not something you just simply you happen to find yourself in. You're the creator of this. And people are flocking to you because they feel it. With masculine and feminine, you have the Three of Pentacles. One moment, Gemini. Okay. You're expressing yourself in a more productive and creative way. Yeah, this is your coming together moment. I'm seeing someone blending paint, mixing and matching to see what works, what doesn't, what looks right, what looks pretty, what looks mortifying. So yeah, all of it is you, but it's like you're trying out different aspects of your personality, bringing them to the surface one by one, choosing the time and place for when it's most appropriate. So yeah, whatever's going on in your present moment where you have to be a little more serious, thoughtful, planning, organized, sit down and think about the next thing you're going to say. It's like you're trying it out, but it's not for the first time. You just may be a little bit out of practice. Because you may have been someone who, it comes off as you're someone who's used to saying what you want when you want. Or like you've been doing things your way for so long that you forgot how to censor yourself. Because again, you go with the flow. What comes to you. What you want to do, you have no issue with trying it. But now it's like here you have to censor yourself just a little bit, not restrict yourself, but censor yourself. Let some aspects of yourself quiet down a little bit, and others be a little bit more present, be a little more viewable. It's like drawing somebody's attention to one specific part of the painting just by the colors you use. Using the same 4 colors, but because some are more vibrant, now they're looking over here instead of over there. So yeah, it's in this moment. If it hasn't happened for you yet, Gemini, it may be coming up where you have to be a little more sit down, focused, cool, collected, thinker, planner, organization of your thoughts, just overall show that you can be these things and let them show up a little bit more clearly and more presently than you've been doing lately. Anyway, for those of you who resonated with the King of Water, this change in this combination of emotion and logic, you may have manifested this for yourself. Like you have an ideal way of how you want to be or how you want to show up to other people. And instead of waiting for it to happen or waiting for people to view you like this, you shifted your focus, you shifted your energy to make it so. If you want to be more emotionally expressive, that's the emotion you shifted into. If you want to be more empathetic, instead of focusing on the logic of the situation, hear what they're saying, what they're not saying, pay attention to their tone of voice, and tune in to what it is they're feeling. So for lack of better words, it's like you reprogrammed yourself to pick up on details that you initially missed in the past because you weren't necessarily looking for them. But now that you are, because you're trying to bring about this change in yourself, that overall is what most likely led you to become the King of Water. You still have your logic, you still have your rationality, but now it may have a little bit more depth because you have the emotional understanding, not just for yourself, but being able to relate to others and drawing out certain emotions from them. or guide them through what it is they're feeling in a healthy and mature manner. Yeah, this change is something that you brought about, you manifested, whether you were aware of it or not aware of it, whether you intended it for it to be like this or not. Wait, no, this was on 7th Earth. That's what my other was. Alright, lastly, you have the King of Pentacles clarifying the 7 of Earth. For those of you who resonate with this path where you're tuning in and listening more so to your higher power and being divinely guided to do things in the right moment when they say it's time, you may not fully understand it, but you're someone who's determined, practical, reliable. It's like you're setting a sturdy foundation, a strong. They may be helping you set a sturdy foundation or structure for a new project, side hustle, business that you're about to do. But for those of you where this is person related, a certain person may have been placed upon your path where they're meeting you at the right time. It's when you have something to give, you have something to offer this person. It's not necessarily for you, but it's for them. It's something that they need. And because you're reliable, because you're showing up as someone who's reliable, dependable, supportive, can help carry a load, that you're practical, reasonable, that you are healthy and mature, not the immature child they're used to dealing with. So yeah, they may have some past baggage of their own with the people they're used to dealing with. Now they're being introduced to someone like you. And this is how you're showing up to them. But again, this is somebody that's been put in your path. It's not necessarily for you, but there's something that they want or need from you. There's something they have to obtain. There's something they have to learn. There's something they have to do, and it's more likely to be a success after meeting you. So yeah, it's not so much as for you, it's more so for them. So if you meet somebody that's a little bit for lack of better words, if you know they have some baggage attached to them, they don't handle situations all that well, that are trying for them, or even emotionally volatile, they've been guided to you for a reason, because you are someone who is not going to stand for that. You will set healthy boundaries for them. And it's like, by you being you, you're going to teach them what it means to be more stable themselves. Teach them how to be, you may even force this person to heal the past hurts that they have going on. But anyway, for those of you who is not person related and it's more situation based, Spirit is guiding you to do something in divine timing, because now's the right time for it. The time is optimal for you to set the sturdy foundation. Yeah, they showed me a house where the framework is done for it, but it doesn't have the details or some impressive features yet. You just basically have the bone structure. So for some of you, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stop digging so deep because Gemini, all of y'all are going through different situations, so it could be different things for all of you. Whether it be doing research, actually obtaining business name, or getting a business location. Again, it can be many different things for different for all of you Gemini. Anyway, in regards to your side message, you have the Six of Air, faith, intuition, the Crone, and self. You also have Judgment and the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you understand there's two sides to every story, and everyone has their own perspective. But you're choosing to focus on the perspective that is, that is for you, that is that's for your highest good. Something that will challenge you to rise to the occasion and instill you with purpose instead of tearing you down and making you feel like you're worthless. You have all the faith and intuition you need to move accordingly with the master plan. So whatever this is going on for you, Gemini, it may have already been written for you, just wasn't aware of it until now. Like you may have felt it coming intuitively. Where you're either starting a new business, someone new is entering your life that needs your help and not the other way around, where you have to be a little more aligned and in balance with yourself, the emotion and the intellect, the spiritual and the earthly, before you can move on to the next phase for what spirit has to offer you. Or it's coming across that you're ready for it. With the Crone being here and self, you are doing things your own way. You're embracing your own characteristics. If people don't understand you, fuck them. Oh, all except for your business partners. So for some of you, you may be partnered with somebody for whatever it is you're doing, especially if you resonated with the Seven of Earth down here. If anyone doesn't understand you and over here criticize you, overly judges you, may even say that you're gonna fail, you're not giving them the time of day. Now, if someone approaches you over and want to understand what it is you're doing, get the step-by-step, play-by-play, you may be a little bit more restrictive on the information you give because you don't want them stealing your idea, but you are embracing the fact that it is an original. This is your idea, your plan. Even if someone's thought of it or started doing it already, you have your own unique version of doing things that no one else can compare to. You're embracing the good and the bad, all qualities of yourself to see something through. You're not letting anybody deter you from who or what you're meant to be. And also with Judgment and the Knight of Pentacles here, some, if not all of you, are receiving a lot of communication from your higher power. Again, whether it be spirit, universe, God, Allah, or any other name. Or you are listening to them, you hear their voice, you feel their hand at work in your life. You feel the energy shifting around you and picking up on small signs and signals. Like if you were to ask for a sign to let you know you're on the right path, It may not present itself the way it's expecting, but you're sure enough going to get a sign to keep it moving. You got work to do. You're on the right path. Stop hesitating. Don't deny. Man, just keep your head, just do you. But also with the Knight of Pentacles here, you're using your more grounded traits, your determination, your will, your practicality, your desire to see things through. Yeah, I'm hearing you're using more stable traits of yourself and learning how to apply them accordingly. If not, you've done so already, but now you're relearning what it's like to use them again. So yeah. For the Geminis, I'm reading for a while, y'all been a free-flowing spirit. Whatever you say. Whatever you do. Whatever the first thing that pops in your head or pops into your mind is what it'll be. But now you're learning how to be more responsible with what it is you say, what it is you do, and how it is you're going to say or how it is you're going to do it. It comes across where you still don't care about how you're perceived, but you care about the reaction you'll get from it when it matters. Anyway, Gemini, this is the reading that I have for you. I do hope you liked or at least gained some insight from the reading. If you did, please do hit the like and subscribe button as there will be more videos to come. That being said, I shall catch you in the next one. Bye, Gemini.